As individuals, we are strong, but as a community, we are powerful.
Tell me what you need, and I'll do what I can.
Who are we? MSI. Who are we? MSI. Who are we? MSI. 3, 2, 1. What's up, everyone? You already know this is ALANRUELAS, your host with the most, and we are doing episode number 5, just like that, because we got a special guest by the name of
Futoshi Nakagawa.
Yeah, it's better known as Dr. Nakagawa, you know? We make that happen because, obviously, I would love to be able to say, hey, Dr. Nakagawa, tell us who you are. But first and foremost, I gotta say, I'm excited for this episode because, let me tell y'all, we're in week 6, heading into week 7. And first and foremost, I love to acknowledge folks who inspire me, folks who make me feel as if I'm empowered, folks who literally are the pillars for our day-to-day. It's something that we talk about in our gatherings. It's something that we have to recognize. It's something where we give credit where credit is due. And I literally look up to Futoshi. I respect him, and most definitely he makes a lot of things here on MSI happen. Male Success Initiative, and he is the representation that I've been looking for forever. You know what I mean? And for that, I am very grateful. And I say that because it needs to echo forever and ever. So thank you very much, Dr. Nakagawa. Now you can introduce yourself.
Well, thank you for having me. And please call me Futoshi.
Okay.
Alan. Yes. But, you know, I've been a big fan of your work and this podcast.
Oh,
and I'm going to begin by saying, how are you doing today?
Oh, I like this. I like the initiative. So, yes. So I'd like to say that I'm doing...
Before you say that, how are you really doing today?
All right, so let's dissect that. So the first one is, that's very good, y'all. That's very good. I'm doing fabulous. That's my get-to all the time. And I got this gear from ASI, you know, your new BLD for the College of Communications. So I'm doing fabulous. How am I really doing? Thankfully, I talked to Hyder and I let her know how I was obviously balancing a lot. You know, that's what we do as we progress in our school years. I'm a senior transfer student, proud of that. And I told her, hey, I feel, you know, all these things start piling up. I'm doing the most, organizing, scheduling, preparing, conversating. Right. I love all of it. And so I told her that maybe if this was like my second year or first year, not to generalize for everybody, but for me, it was like that. I was just burnt out. But this time around, I love what I'm doing. I'm passionate of the people that I'm interacting with, the communities that I'm uplifting. So I feel as if what used to stress me out, now because I'm able to do the podcast, the magazine, television, radio, you name it, you know what I mean? It allows me to finally feel as if I'm investing my time where my spirit is at. So
it's a good kind of busy.
Yeah, it's a very good type of busy. And I appreciate the question because usually it's the other way around. So with that being said, now back to Futoshi. How are you doing?
It's been a long week, but I feel good, right? I think this year there's been a lot of changes, a lot of readjusting. I'd like to give a shout out to Dr. Okano. Trista, welcome to the MSI family.
Yeah, hey.
And just all in all, I can't believe, like, you know, we're already in October, right? And there's a lot of work to do still. But at the same time, I still have that excitement that I felt at the start of the semester. Believe it or not, I still feel that every day. So.
And that's what I see, y'all. That's the type of cup of tea that I wake up to every morning, you know, 8 o'clock, you know, and I'm like, Dr. Nakagawa, happy Monday, happy Tuesday, happy Wednesday, happy Thursday, and happy Friday, you know what I mean? So this excitement that you're referring to, elaborate more so, obviously we want to talk about academics, but I want to venture into a little bit more so pops. Baseball. Talk about that. Talk about that excitement, because that's something that has allowed me to de-stress, has allowed me, look at this, I'm using keywords for y'all, to find a sense of belonging, to invest my time elsewhere and not be, just overall just burnt out. It just has helped me so much. And I'm a pitcher, y'all. Thanks to...
No.
Doctor.
This naturally talented. Let me just, for the record, say that Alon right here, we took him to the batting cages and hit 90 miles an hour his first time ever swinging a bat. and he was able to hit 90 by the end of the day. So super impressive.
I appreciate it.
Has a natural talent. I'm never going to doubt this guy whenever he says I'm going to do this. You know, before it'd be like, are you sure? You know, but now I'm like, yeah, you know what? Give the kid a chance, right? You can probably do it. So, but with Pops, I am not. I only played baseball up to when I was about in junior high, and then just talking to people like who wanted to play baseball, and Alex, brother Alex from the VRC. One day is like, Futoshi, we need to play. So it all started with just me and him at the intramural field, and we were just playing catch, and then he hits a home run out into the arboretum, right? And then we're like, oh, cool, this was fun, and we need to get more people involved. And then I knew that he was serious about really committing to. By the way, POP stands for Past Arm Prime Squad. Yes. So it's a bunch of old guys like me who are just trying to relive their memories and teach like some of the younger generation who never had the opportunity to play baseball, just throw the ball around and just feel that experience, right?
Yeah.
And then the next morning, I get a text from Brother Alex, and then he goes, I found it. And he sends me a picture of the ball. So he got up early in the morning, and he looked all over the arboretum, and he found the ball and took a picture and sent it back to me, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, he's really serious about this. He really wants to, keep going and keep practicing and stuff. And then one turned into two, and Brother Alan joins, and we have, Brother Steve and other brothers from MSI who've never even played baseball coming out and just to enjoy, just spending time with each other. And like yesterday, we had a person just walking across, right? And then one student comes up and goes, can I play with you guys? We're like, yeah, it's, So I think that's kind of like the spirit that we have of, of Pops is like just kind of like the difference between trying to fit in, right? And then having that feeling of belonging, and then trying to make people feel like that they belong with MSI. They're a part of Pops, or, just having that space like that, and it creates good energy, right? And then I go home feeling like the good kind of tired, not like the negative kind of tired, right? So then, it's been great.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Honestly, like, it's like memory overload. We came back from the Angels game. Literally, cookies were the highlight of the night. Similar to
those cookies are good, right?
Yeah, they were amazing, y'all. Like, I kid you not. Like, when I say how important it is to, for me, I'm a transfer student, so I'm always on the get-go, driving, always moving. I'm pretty sure the brothers know that. They see me always moving, and I'm pretty sure that's for a lot of students. But the idea of kind of like staying in the present and having these moments, kind of like have experiences to say I studied and had a good time.
Right.
Wow, it makes a big difference. I wasn't wired like that, y'all. I was just wired to go to school, do what I need to do. And then Futoshi came along. He's like, hold on, you need a sense of belonging. We have a brotherhood. Let me allow you to amplify, and reach the fullness of your potential by doing this. And let me tell y'all, no, not just there. We got to get back to the Angels one. He does this for every single body. I'm telling you, like, this is like the highlight of like talking about spirit, because it came up 2 times. That's the theme of today. Literally spirit. Futoshi is able to see that and allow students to feel welcomed. And even when we're playing baseball, I played athleticism. I did all of it. It's a very nice competitive atmosphere to the point where it's kind of like everyone plays. And that's the best part. And players out of their primes, or what was it?
Past our primes.
Past our primes, yeah. So it's just like being in the present, y'all. And can you elaborate a little bit more on the Angels game and how you're an Angels fan?
Yeah, so I grew up in Garden Grove.
Yes.
So I grew up cheering for the Angels. My older brother cheered. He was a Dodgers fan. But to be honest, growing up, vivid memories still of my dad in front of the TV. Chick Hearn, Vin Scully. That was my household. And I would cheer for the Angels until about October, and then I'll turn into a Dodgers fan. You got to root for the home team, right?
Yeah.
And then Dodgers will make it to, and then the Dodgers were an organization where they had players like Hideo Nomo. He was a pitcher out of Japan.
Okay.
And just like last night, I was talking to Brother Alex how important representation is.
Oh
right?
my gosh, yes. Talk about that.
And then I remember him kind of like breaking the Japan Pro League and MLB and all the, he was called like a trader and everything when he came here, and and I think that's where he trailblazed for a lot of players now. And then it's interesting that my son plays baseball.
Yes.
But what got him into baseball is Shohei Ohtani. Right?
Hey, that's cool.
It's he sees this dude like throwing 100 and hitting bombs, and he goes, "Dad, I want to play baseball." Right? I'm like, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah, like I want to play baseball." Right? So I think that kind of like gave me a flashback to when I saw like Hideo Nomo like pitch for the first time. That same kind of like wow, But I think going back to the importance of representation, when I see students on this campus, right, and then like remember when we're tabling, like, stop by Masai, right? Yes. Where are you going to eat lunch?
Yes.
You'll see people like us, nicest people on campus. Everyone's welcome, even though we're the Male Success Initiative. That's what our focus is. But, making students feel welcome, valued, and connected, right? In the way that we see that, right? And
of course.
And then we're not asking students to try to fit in or change who they are.
Of course.
They come here and they sense the feeling of community. So, talented people like you.
Futoshi. I'm gonna
people have leadership opportunities to test things out, right? In MSI, and to see, kind of get a feel for it before they start branching out into the campus and to the real world, right? So I think that's the beauty of MSI,
That is the beauty, and I gotta say, I'm over here smiling from cheek to cheek because this is an honor.
No.
No, it is an honor, and I say it because that compliment, it hits home. It's just like it makes me feel like you're talking about representation, and that's exactly what I see when I talk to Futoshi over here, and that's something that makes a difference whether it be within my day to day or someone else's. So like I said, it's impressive how you talk about that, and then here it is. You know what I mean?
It's not everything, but it is
essential.
Yeah.
Now I wanna. You said Garden Grove, correct?
Correct.
Hometown and everything. Walk me through. I mean, I want to know here and there and that, but I want to hear about a lot of brothers. Obviously, they're in the university. Talk to us about your university days. What was something that motivated you? I always ask this because I feel as if whether it be the daily quote or whether it be things that motivated you through challenging times or midterms or finals or probably whatever the case may be, I feel like the overarching theme here is yes, MSI, yes, Dr. Nakagawa, aka Futoshi, yes, all these beautiful things. But what elevated you to say I'm going to push myself through these circumstances?
I think when I think about like college, I was blessed to have the opportunity to go to college, and I'll be the first to say I never really liked school. At least I like hanging out with my friends and everything, but in terms of like academics, to be honest, I did enough not to get in trouble from my parents, right?
Yes.
They were super supportive. Academics was very important. And then I think I wish I had something cool to say, but what pushed me through a lot of things,
yes,
it was the realization that my strongest strength was being stubborn.
No.
Yeah.
Would you look at that?
I gave up on like knowledge like long time ago. Like, okay, I'm like, okay, so I'm not the smartest one in class, but you know what? I'm stubborn enough to outwork everyone, right?
Would you look at that,
right.
y'all? Would you look at that?
And then so then even in my cohort, in my doctoral program, I was the last one to finish. Mm-hmm. And I crawled across the line. Yeah. Like it wasn't like a, victory lap. it was like, oh,
bam,
you know,
the
bad,
buzzer.
right? You know, and then so I think that's where you realize, you know, where your strengths are, right? I'm not saying don't study, right? But I think, you know, when it's like time to actually get things done, I always like rely on myself, and I know that I'm stubborn and I don't like, you know, that I could push myself through something.
That's important, y'all, because there's so much to talk about regarding actual moments where you need to push yourself and you're obviously, you know, reaching the most, doing the most, whether that. And it's interesting because everybody has a different strategy. Everyone has a different method. And it's, again, for me, it's the genuineness, it's the realness, it's the whole idea that when you look up to someone, that idea of representation, they keep it real. You know what I mean? And again, you're going to hear this all the time from me. Very grateful, very thoughtful, very much so like appreciative of the fact that you kept it real. You know what I mean? If you're doing the finish line, sometimes people romanticize this idea of the hustle, or you know, sometimes we enjoy other things, you know, and academics. Look, I'm not a bookworm by all means, but I'm very stubborn, and I know that this is the path that I want to fulfill. And this is what I'm going to be achieving, you know. So there's an end game, you know. There's a point to where I'm reaching. So the fact that you're sharing that with us, I feel as if it's revolutionary per se, because it makes a difference, you know. Do you have any questions for me, Dr. Nakagawa? Futoshi?
Yes, I think, Alan, I think since you've been in MSI, what was that one moment where you're like, you know, I'm going to stay with MSI, because you had a lot of different other options, of course, like clubs, organizations. You are a part of all of them.
Yes.
What made you, you know, what makes you come back to MSI like every morning? Like, you know.
Wow, these are great questions. Whoa. So to keep it real, definitely the idea of the sense of belonging, finding a community where I'm able to see myself, be who I am, and walk into the building and say, what's up? You know, because a lot of the times when you do follow certain day-to-day lifestyles, it might change you.
Right.
And going back to being stubborn, going back to being real, going back to being genuine, and following your calling in tu espíritu, you know what I'm saying? I took the route of a community college, and I had the opportunity to discover MOC. So I had a mentor, Dr. Oseguera, who's over there, and I was able to really see myself, you know, with what he has accomplished. A Chicano, he was, you know, first generation, and I say all these things because I come over here, and right off the bat, it was during COVID. It was when everybody was just tuning out, right. And MSI offered psychological services with our CAPS liaison, Naji. Yes, those good old days. He made a difference, y'all.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then also because I knew that this is where I'm going to grow. A lot of the times you get the experience, but are you growing? I like to push myself outside of my comfort zone. I like to really learn rather than be told. And best believe Hyder's going to advocate on this one. Even if it is obviously making mistakes, hiccups, whatever it is, if it's scars, if you're learning, whatever comes at you, you just got to, for me personally speaking, ALANRUELAS, I embrace it. Because eventually we're going to die. I'm keeping it real. And one of the things that I love to say is that I speak for myself and I uplift my community. And my community is all different kinds of shades. Obviously, for me, all different types of messages. But first and foremost is about being able to just be authentic, you know? So when I come into MSI, obviously, given the opportunity, you know, thank you for believing in me. And for Jeanette and everybody and the staff and all that, to be able to do the podcast, to be able to do magazine, to be able to do the social media, to be able to do all these things that are allowing me to be able to grow, you know, makes a difference. So when I come into MSI, I came here knowing that I'm going to be putting in time. So I'm here Monday through Friday. I'm here because I want to be here, and I give the absolute most because I expect the absolute most, you know. So to answer your question, I feel like it's that ending, you know, giving the absolute most to get the absolute most, you know what I mean? And also, like I said, it comes back to leadership like yourself. Yes, best believe, y'all. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. It makes a difference. Not everyone has that token of charisma, or that, you know. Brother Ariel put it best when he gave his speech. You know, you came in and you hit the ground running. Not a lot of people can do that. For sure.
Well, it was a we thing. It was, you know, I came in with an all-star team.
Oh yeah, right? We gotta highlight them too.
Yes,
I gotta say, I already interviewed Steve, so we already know about Steve. And then Hyder, well, you already know about Hyder. And then of course, at the time, Brother George. And then of course, Brother Naji. And then now we have folks who, Tram, who's providing mentoring, mathematics.
Right. Total game changer. Yeah.
Yes.
For academics, for MSI brothers.
Yeah, it makes a difference. Yeah. What would you say is something that you value about our brothers here at MSI? Is it the creativity? Is it their enthusiasm? Is it their, you know, what is it?
I think what I value, I think when I see them smile, you know, whether when they're having conversations in the space, they're at an event, and then they realize something that they didn't, you know, and I see like that moment when they're like, oh wow, you know, and then they smile and they're like, oh, that's pretty cool, right?
Yeah.
So to me, like, you know, when people ask me what I do, going back to what you said, as a student affairs professional, it's our job to help students grow.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You go inside the classroom, you learn like the skills, right? But outside the classrooms, with all this co-curricular activities, right, that helps you grow as an individual and when you go out into the real world, right?
Yes.
But that is cool, but seeing them do that and smile, like, to me, that's like a total win for me, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that because ultimately, the amount of hours you, Hyder, and Steve be putting in, it's impressive, you know? And that's something that I see, something that, you know, I go back to the quote, I'm here because I want to be here, and I'm assuming it's the same vice versa. You know, you're here because you want to be here.
Right.
And so that makes a difference. What is a quote that you potentially carry with you, you know, that I'd love to be able to kind of like talk about?
A quote, that single quote?
Yeah.
I think one quote that really kind of like resonates with me is I think Jay-Z once said that leave a mark they can't replace, neither space nor time. And so that's
I love this.
Yeah. So then that to me, it's like the only thing that means is you need to be you, your true, authentic self. And if you live your life that way, no matter where you are or how much time has passed,
yes,
that can never be like erased, right? So then I think that's where, like, you know, like those moments that you have with your brothers, like memories, right? And I think those special connections that are made, yeah, those are the kinds of things that when you come, like 20 years from now, when you think back, you know, college days, like, you know, like some of your friends that you made and everything, those are the things that will like never, like, you know, disappear, right?
Those are the nights that will never end.
But some of those things that, you know, that, I don't know, like a concept or a theorem or something that you learned in class might fade away, but those really special moments, yeah.
Yeah, reaching the fullness of your potential. And then especially if you could do it with other folks who really empower you or make you feel like your authentic self, you know? I personally am going to cherish. I say this now because, damn, oh my gosh, time goes like this. Right. I literally was 18 like 2 seconds ago, and then the COVID happened. I'm like 22. What the heck? So I say that because, I mean, moving forward, you know, I manifested out into the air. Right now, I'm balancing 5 leadership roles, and I encourage y'all to reach the fullness of your potential, whatever that looks like. Or focus on yourself, stay in your lane, because I'm staying in mine, and everybody has their own trajectory. You know what I mean? Now, I say this because I am very grateful. I am very evermost present, and I'm learning so much So from me to you, I want to say very thank you, Dr. Nakagawa.
Oh, thank you.
When you had your speech and you kind of like my soul came out of my body when you're like, who are we? That was very impressive because that's me and Steve talk about this, the foi. You know what I mean? the courage, you know what I mean? Everything that has to do with believing in yourself, So thank you, honestly. And do you have any words left for us today?
I think for all of our brothers that are, with midterms coming up and everything.
Yes.
The other night, my daughter was struggling with some of her math homework, which is getting progressively. She's in like an honors class and stuff. And I'm like, hey, do you ask questions in class? She's like, because she's never really had to ask questions. But now things are getting more and more difficult where she doesn't get everything that's going on, that's going on in the classroom, but she was too scared to ask a question, right? I'm like, you know what? Tomorrow, please just try asking a question, right? Mm-hmm. So what I'm telling you guys too is like when you're in class, if you don't get things, that was me just raising my head. I don't get it, professor. Like, could you explain it, break it down? And believe it or not, teachers and professors like it when students ask them questions because then they get to kind of like show off and say, all right, let me show you how it's done, right? And then they'll help you with everything. And then yesterday I come home and my daughter's like, yeah, I asked a question. And then her face just lit up and she was like so nice and everything. And then now I understand everything, And I think, if you don't know, ask questions, right?
Ask questions.
Ask questions. Go to office hours, right? Ask me, ask Alan, ask Steve, ask Jeanette, ask Naji, right? And I think, we're all in this together and we want to help each other out. So,
of course,
that's what the scholarly brotherhood is all about.
Wow, would you look at that whole 360? And then Hyder has a button for me. You're done. Don't be asking questions. But it's all out of love, y'all. That's what we want to obviously show to y'all. We're here, we're present, we're here because we want to be here, and we want to encourage you to reach the fullness of your potential, to come on over to the space, to use our resources, to interact, to be yourself. Obviously, we have snacks, Pop-Tarts, and then we have movie nights, we have math tutoring, psychological services, and there's just so much that we could offer, and we will offer because we are here and we're making a difference, whether it be with one person or whether it be with a handful of brothers who are coming on over to MSI. So with that being said, this is your host with the most, ALANRUELAS, and a very honorable guest by the name of...
Futoshi. It was a pleasure. I had a really good time.
Well, that concludes number 5, and likewise, I gotta say, more episodes to come, y'all. Thank you for inspiring me. Thank you.